Hello, my friend. Today, I want to share a simple story with you. It is a story about love, loss, and finding hope again. I speak to you as if I am sitting beside you, a close friend, sharing memories from my heart. I was young once, full of dreams, hoping for a big love that could light up even the darkest days. My name is Anna. I grew up in a small town where everyone knew your name and the days moved slowly, yet there were secret smiles and hidden hopes all around. One warm afternoon at the local bookshop, I first saw him, James. His dark eyes were kind, and his smile had a magic I could not forget. We talked about our favorite books and the simple beauty of quiet moments. Even then, I felt something grow inside me. A spark that would soon warm even the coldest nights. As the days passed, James and I spent more time together. We shared our dreams and the little things that made each day special. We often walked along winding lanes, talking about our hopes and secrets in soft, honest voices. In those moments, I believed that love was gentle, patient, and true. Our love grew along with my hopes. I believed that we would share our lives, our joys, and even our mistakes. I learned that love is not just about happy moments. It is also about opening your heart enough to share your deepest fears. I remember quiet evenings when we sat on a park bench under the stars. I would whisper, "James, I trust you with my heart," and he would hold my hand and softly say, "I will always treasure you, Anna." In those moments, life felt calm and full of promise. But even the strongest love sometimes faces shadows. One rainy night, my world changed. I came home and found a letter that chilled my heart. The letter told me that James had to leave. He carried a secret from his past, a heavy burden he could not share, and as I read those words, I felt as if all my hopes were washed away by the heavy rain. I questioned everything and wondered, was our love too fragile? Could I have done something to stop him from leaving? In that moment, the small town felt much colder, and my heart grew heavy with sadness. I spent days sitting by the window, watching the relentless rain fall. Each drop felt like a tear from my soul. During these lonely hours, the love I once knew seemed to vanish, taken away by secrets and fears too painful to explain. Weeks turned into months as I tried to smile and go on with my life, but the emptiness remained. Friends told me, "Time heals, Anna." Yet every morning I woke with a heavy heart, missing the warmth I once shared with James. I often walked along the beach, my favorite place from childhood, and listened to the soft crash of the waves, wondering if the ocean could carry my sorrow away. In my grief, I found comfort in a small notebook where I wrote down every memory and every word James had ever spoken. This notebook became my silent friend, holding all of the emotions I could scarcely speak. Then, one quiet morning, something small shifted. I opened my notebook and read an old note that said, "Even in darkness, a small light shines." I realized that I had been holding on to my pain and forgetting the tiny light of hope that could guide me back. I slowly began to let that light in. I started talking to people again, taking leisurely walks, listening to the laughter of children, and even picking up a paintbrush, a hobby I once loved. Each small smile from a stranger, each kind word from a neighbor, began to lift my spirits. One day, while I was painting by the beach, I noticed someone new, a gentle, kind soul walking by the water. His name was Michael. Michael did not try to replace James. Instead, he listened. He sat with me and understood that my heart was slowly learning to welcome hope again, even as I remembered my past. Michael and I became good friends. We shared simple meals, talked under starry skies, and I learned that it was okay to remember past love while opening my heart to new possibilities. I began to see that every person we meet leaves a mark, and though I still thought of James sometimes, I was slowly learning that my heart could hold more than one kind of love. One evening, as the sun set in a burst of soft colors, Michael said, "Anna, you are strong. I see the beauty of your heart." His words made me believe that even after great loss, there is strength within us. With every day that passed, I felt the weight on my heart lift. I began to join small gatherings with friends, laugh a little more, and share my art with my local community. The healing was slow, like a sunrise that gradually warms the cold night. But healing also meant facing my past. One rainy afternoon, much like the night I lost James, I opened an old box filled with letters and photos. Tucked away inside was one final letter from James that I had never read. In his letter, he spoke of regrets and fears, of a burden he could not bear, and wished me well. With trembling hands, I read his words, feeling a gentle sadness mixed with a tender kindness. In that moment, I forgave him, and I forgave myself. I learned that love, no matter how brief, always teaches us something valuable. I came to understand that letting go does not mean forgetting the past. Instead, it frees us to open our hearts to new love and new dreams. As time passed, weeks melted into months, and months into a year. My life began to change in small, beautiful ways. Michael remained a caring friend, and I found joy again in painting and writing. I even began teaching English at a small community center, sharing my story in simple words so others might see that even in sadness, hope can be found. One day, after class, a young learner said, "Your story makes me believe that even when I'm sad, there is hope." His words warmed my heart, and I realized that my pain had one purpose: to help others find their own light. Now, I stand here with a heart that knows both sorrow and joy. Yes, I still miss James sometimes. I remember our first smiles, our quiet walks, and every lesson his departure taught me. But I have also found new happiness in the world of art, in teaching, and in the gentle friendship I share with Michael. I have learned that a good ending does not erase the sadness of a beginning. Instead, it means accepting our memories, learning from our losses, and allowing new love and new dreams to fill our days. So, my dear friend, let my story remind you that even when life brings deep pain, there is always a chance for a new beginning. We learn from our tears, we laugh after our sorrow, and we find ways to love again with open hearts. Thank you for spending this time with me. I hope my story has touched your heart and given you a little light on your own journey. Remember, after the darkest storm, the sun will always rise again. Carry hope with you as you move forward, for love is never truly lost. It lives on in the memories we cherish and in the new chapters we bravely embrace.